Our reporters are talking to individuals both who are in Texas, New York, being shipped all over the country, and all of them have very compelling stories about how the difficulty their lives were coming from the countries where they are originally from. And so on the asylum issue, where do you draw the line? How do you decide who is actually able to get asylum versus who is not?
Well, it's not my decision. It's laid out in it was a piece of legislation passed in the U.S. and I think it was the late 80s that relies on UN resolutions about refugees. And ultimately, a refugee is somebody who is applying for help outside of a country. If you're already in a country and you apply for this kind of protection, that's what an asylum seeker is. And ultimately, what happens is you have to be part of a protected class. Gender, race, religion, political affiliation. You have to be part of a class that's actually protected, and those classes are outlined in law. And you have to be persecuted by your government, or your government is preventing you from being persecuted. Those are the rules ultimately for asylum. And over over the last 22 years. The average of people that go through this long immigration process to achieve asylum, I think the average over those years is in the 40s. About 40% of the people that ultimately apply for asylum ultimately get it. That's the legal definition. That is what legislation that we're responsible for. Now, this is where the other conversation about streamlining legal immigration should come in. I want the United States of America to benefit from the brain drain of every other country. That's been one of the strengths of our government, of our society. Let's benefit from the hardworking drain as well too. If you're going to be a hardworking member of society, let's get you here, but let's do it legally. So let's be streamlining legal immigration. And this is an example where, again, this is Democrats control all three branches of government and haven't been able to put legislation that they can get passed to streamline legal immigration. We should address DACA, right? This is probably one of the things that was most frustrating to me when I was in Congress. We got so close to making sure these young men and women who have only ever known the United States of America as their home, having a solution. So we know how to fix these problems. It requires political leaders to show that fortitude. And let's look at where I'm from, South and West Texas. You have Democratic mayors, county judges, city council members that are super frustrated with the current administration. You're going to see in 2024 a record, if not real record, turnout of Latinos voting for Republicans. A part of this is because of the problems of border security and the associated issues. So this is something we should be able to get right. And it's frustrating that this problem has lingered for so long.